Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the season opener of Season 19 in Division 2. We are here at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. My name is VNT Felix One, and I'll be taking you through tonight's action. And I am joined by our commentator from last season as well, Jere. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining me.
Hello. It's nice to be back here. Feels good.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We already had, of course, the Division 3 opener yesterday, and I think that showed the kind of racing that we can expect um, from this game, from this track as well, and gives us a bit of an idea of what we'll be seeing today. Of course, Jere, you drove in that race. What would you say you've learned, and what do you expect differently today, maybe that people might have learned from that race?
Mihai is not gonna start on softs. I think that's gonna be learned. Hopefully, that didn't just work yesterday. But no. What I realized during the race myself, driving it yesterday, was that people lift all like from the throttle. Um, Way different marks. So you have to be prepared to slow down. Even if it's not your mark, it might be someone else's mark. So it's very easy to like make mistakes here because you just don't assume that people are gonna lift that early.
Yeah, I felt the same in the races I've done. And I don't think it will change, especially in these lower divisions either, 30. Of course, it's early in the game, so it's natural no one really has the perfect moment to go off the throttle for the ES recharge figure out yet. But I think it will stay different from driver to driver the whole year, because it depends a lot on setup and just on individual like feeling. And especially when you like at esports level, maybe they will have it perfectly figured out. But we are quite far from esports level in the racing we do here, so I don't think we're ever really gonna have that go away.
No, and I think it makes the racing interesting because there will be accidental dive bombs. There will be like chaos in the braking zones even more now. Especially when someone uses a bit more of the boost now. It's something like turn three is something to watch quite a bit, at least on the first couple laps when the pack is really close to each other.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday. The battery played a crucial role. I mean, it makes sense. It's a 50-50 split right now in the game, because we are still based on the regulations from the start of the year in Formula One. And you can really tell that the battery management was just as, if not more important than your outright ability and outright pace. I would say we saw that, for example, in the battle between Lanky Brown and Proper Cell. Were fighting, I believe, for third at the time, and Lanky Brown was almost constantly at 80% EIS and was really comfortable with the EIS management, getting the battery back, being able to push in the straights, and then Purple Cell pretty much was on zero the whole time, and it really cost him the opportunity to make any sort of attack. So it's interesting to see how much that maybe changes as we go up the divisions, if people become more yeah, just more comfortable, more used to the EIS already. I know a few guys in here who have barely played the game, so that's going to be quite interesting. Sean, I think, is one of them. He is, yeah, done maybe 5 laps or so on this game pretty much. Kuko hasn't done a whole. I think Kuko actually has been complaining a whole lot, so he's done some driving, but he doesn't like it. Um, Other than that, we'll see how it goes. The grid is looking a bit different from last year. We have a few new faces. If we're gonna go from top to bottom, the first one is Daystream. We already saw him in Division 3 yesterday. He was near the front in qualifying and then in the race. I'm not sure what happened to him actually. Why he dropped down, but he did drop down throughout the race. I'm not sure, maybe you know. Did you see it?
I did not see him even on the track, I believe. But what I was watching the clips a bit, I think he had a bit of contact around the track with other people.
Alright, fair. Cold Magic as well, we saw him yesterday. Same for AC. And then we have a couple of new guys coming over from the British Isles Racing League, namely, Rubster. Uh, Rubster is the only one of those that actually racing. Rubster and Joe, sorry, those two driving today, and I think especially Joe. We saw him in the Gran Turismo 7 race at Daytona, and he actually finished that race in third. In the GT3 class, which was the faster of the two classes in terms of the drivers competing. So he is very, very quick in GT3, in Gran Turismo 7, driving GT3s, but also driving other cars. So I would expect him to be near the front end of this field. And then one other driver who is making a return after a long time away from the league is Pocho. Very glad to see him back. One of the OGs in F1 Total. He's been around since, I believe, F1 2019. So, 7 years ago at this point. Yeah, it's a long time. And he's caught the enjoyment again with this F1 26 DLC. It's pretty split opinion, I think. Some people really like it, and some people really hate it.
There's no, mediocre opinions about this game. It's either you like it or you hate it. I haven't heard anyone be like, yeah, I mean, it's alright.
I can't lie, I think I'm kind of in the middle. I'm unsure still.
I really like the game. There's so much things you can build up on. I love the whole idea of this. But there's also the engineer side of me, which enjoys the workload that this game brings.
Yeah, you just enjoy any new game, I think.
No, I didn't like that much F1 25, to be honest.
Oh, fair,
it was very straightforward, and it didn't change at all.
Yeah, because it was basically just 24, but the cars had dirty air, so...
Exactly. But this game, there's a lot of potential. Fixing stuff. I just want to see something new.
And that's weird, because it's not actually a new game. It's the same game, but new cars and... it's a DLC, of course. But the F1 regulations have changed so much that even though we are working with the same underlying physics, everything is so wildly different that it creates a really interesting reset, I would say, for everyone. And it requires a totally different skill set to race in this DLC. Like I said, the one-lap pace, of course it matters. You know, if you're 3 seconds slower than the other guy, he's gonna drive away. But once you're within 3-4 tenths, it's not that important anymore. It's gonna come down to who manages the EIS the best, who manages his race the best, who stays out of trouble as well. Especially because trains, when they start battling, and they will start battling with this EIS system, just you can't avoid it, they slow each other down a lot. And that means that people who might not have the same one-lap pace can easily stay in the train and stay involved in the fight at the front of the field. First few laps coming in so far, one driver in the 104s in Bobo Dinho. So he's confirming the strong qualifying pace he showed last game.
Mihai is getting a bit blocked by an Aston Martin there. That would be Roopster making his return to the league racing in here. Right away blocking Mihai in the second sector, sadly. I think he's going again. I mean, he has the time, and if the tires are not dead, then why not? And learn a bit how to drive fast in here, in one-lap pace.
I say, I'm positively surprised to see Coco up in third. He's been doing nothing but crying in the Discord about this game. But I see his pace is still rather solid. His teammate Sean, not so much. He's down in 8th. Our 3-time world champion. You'd expect a bit more from him than that. Pocho in 10th on his return. Mihai, after the... I think he had a 4.8 yesterday, didn't he? Right now at a 5.6, yes. So he's quite far off what he did yesterday.
He did the same yesterday. He was on the first lap, he was miles off. Second lap, he got into the low 5s, and then he got into the 0.8. So, this would be just normal for Mihai, what I saw yesterday.
Alright, we'll see if you can repeat that then.
Pace, but yeah, Mihai had very good race pace yesterday, but I'm hoping that he has learned manage the battery a bit better on the race. He did mention to me after the race that he was basically on 0 all the time, and that is definitely something you don't want to be in this game.
Well, Daystream coming to the end of a lap there, and he was up by 2 tenths after middle sector, but he got blocked in the last few corners by, I believe that was the Red Bull of Sean Mull. Yeah, and that I think cost Daystream what would have been a provisional pole position lap.
Yeah, Daystream is really looking solid. This McLaren duo, I reckon that's gonna be a scary one here. It looks really strong. Borbodini obviously was really good already on last game, and Daystream is looking fairly good already. So I'm gonna be excited for this McLaren duo.
Yeah, Daystream, of course, a new face to F1 Total. He's, well, I know him from another league called Destruction League, a German league, racing on Monday evenings, also one of our partners. And in there, he is, it's quite a big field spread in that league. You basically have car racer, Jeremy, another driver called Threefold, myself, and then like some other guys who are like, sort of close to us four. And then there's a big gap, basically. And you get to... Sully also races in there, and he's like top of that chasing pack, that midfield pack. And then Daystream is maybe a little bit slower than Sully, I would say. So I expected him to do quite well in Division 3. But now he's actually up there in Division 2 as well, so maybe he's taken a step forward for F1 26, or maybe I've just underestimated him.
I think this game you can't really put anyone down before you see them drive. There's so much variations on everything, the setups, the ERS usage, everything, and if you just learn how to use the ERS in qualifying, that will bring you at least half a second free time.
Yeah, the ERS usage is even more important than last game over the course of qualifying lap.
Yes.
Joe around the final corner there, and he with a great lap, 105.042, split to two McLarens in the front of the field.
There's Viral is pushing, but it's not gonna be enough, at least to fight on the front. Maybe he has some time in the last sector. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe use more ERS in the sector 1 and 2 earlier. That's going to be an invalidation the last corner, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he lifted off after that, but that was not enough, sadly. But within a 10th right now, there is 4 cars in the front. So I'm expecting magnificent, like first lap especially, like the fighting, like who will use the most battery will become the leader of the race.
Well, Bobodinho, 2,000s down after middle sector, so we'll see if he can now improve a bit in the final sector and increase his gap to second place. But that's going to be an invalidation at the second class corner, and he dives into the pit lane with 8 minutes to go.
That's an interesting line too.
Yeah, he realized he was going off and then he basically turned like full right. He's gonna be glad that there's no other car there. I suppose that's why he did it. Pubdog with a 4/10th improvement in the middle sector. That would put him on a 104.8. That would be pole position. But he's out of ERS right now. Is that gonna cost him time here at the end of the lap? Or is that part of his ERS strategy to sacrifice the end of the lap? And he did it previously as well. We'll see it as he comes over the line. It's a 105.040. So the ERS was indeed missing at the end, but Kuko goes top of the field, 104.931, about half a tenth faster than Bobodinho.
I feel like the people who complain the most about the game right now seems to be like on top of their game right now.
Well, it makes sense, because to complain a lot, you have to have played a lot.
Pretty much, yeah. I have no complaints about the game. I enjoy driving it. I enjoy working on it, so yeah, I have no complaints, but...
Sorry. I was on board with Gabri, and he was actually up by 2.5 tenths. He did a 104.8, but he invalidated the last corner, so actually it would have been a pole position lap from Gabri, sorry, Mihai in the meantime, up into the top 5 at 105.0. So we've got a very, very close... there is 11 thousandths from 3rd to 6th.
Yeah. And it's not that far away. Like within a 10th, there is 6 cars, and then there's just Kuko outside of that 10th, basically.
Yeah, P7 is 1.5 tenths away from P1.
Yes.
Oh, that's gone out the window. Rapstar with a big lap.
That's a solid lap already.
Yeah, he basically has 1.5 tenths second now. which is the gap from 2nd to 8th.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Robster, I think that's a lap that I would be happy with, to be honest. I don't know how many people here are gonna beat that.
Well, there's still 6
Someone like
minutes for them to do it.
Gabri, I don't know what he's capable of doing this game. But I'm expecting him to be like around top 3. Pocho, I was watching a bit of him on the last game, so I don't think he did many races, but I saw his name couple times at least.
Yeah,
I'm
he
pretty
reserved
sure
once or twice, I think, but he wasn't really that into F125.
Yeah, I mean, but
with
he
Poncho,
wasn't
it's always
Swedish,
quite hit or miss. Even back in the day when he was active, he had races where he would be right at the front of Div 2, and then he had races where he'd be like 12th.
Yeah,
And with
right
Gabri,
now it's...
I always expect Gabri to be quick on any game. He's been in this league since F122, and he's always been one of the top drivers here in Division 2, ever since Division 2 opened. And even he raced a bit also before Division 2 even opened, and he was also like at the pace that he then had when Division 2 opened, like just upper midfield Div 1. Oh well, just the league at that point. And Gabri coming over the line just now with a 104.982 P3, just like you said.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm expecting him. Yeah, Gabri lost a lot of time in the last sector. That's what I noticed yesterday as well. Comparing to me and Mihai example, Mihai was really fast in the middle sector, whereas I was really strong in the last sector. So it's not even... Oh, and Borpodinius the exact same time with Roopster, by the way.
Yeah, I was on
So
board with
that's,
him. I was just looking for if he could get pole position, but by the tiniest of margins. Literally. No, he can't.
No. And
Oh,
again...
and Sean! Invalidating at the second to last corner. What could have been a good lap for him. Yeah, it would have been a 2.5% improvement. I would have put him down to 9th. Jesus, it's so unbelievably tight in the top 9. Top 8, sorry.
Right? Yeah, I mean, right now Roomster is he's owning that last sector. He's by mile the fastest in there. So there comes the ERS difference. The sector times are not so close anymore. You can find huge advantages in a different sector than anyone else. And here, Roofster is showing it. He doesn't need to be on top of the first and second sector. But if he does perfect last sector, he's on pole.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very rare this year to see people do, especially lower down in divisions. Maybe when you get to esports level again, then you might see it more often, having all 3 sectors purple because everyone is using the same EIS, or at least similar EIS. But I think down here you will almost never see someone having all 3 purple sectors because someone has burned all their battery on one straight, and that is now an unbeatable sector time. But then they're like 9th because everybody else they've lost time, you know.
Yes. And it was yesterday the same. Like, Miho was example using all of his ERS in the middle sector. Or most of it. Whereas I was preserving it to go around the track. And that showcases in the sectors, as it is showcasing today as well.
Joe around the final corner, coming up to the line with an improvement here, and that puts him into the top 3, 104.881. And Aussie has crashed at the first corner. Parked right on the racing line. I'm not sure how he's crashed. He must have turned in too early, hit the inside wall, and bounced back onto the track. That's the only explanation I can think of. Oh no, he crashed in the pit exit, I reckon, and got teleported onto the racing line. That makes the most sense, actually.
That is definitely something that I was not expecting to see in this qualifying.
Daystream jumping from 8th to 4th with a 1 and a bit 10th improvement. He's looking quick.
Yeah, Daystream is not looking bad, by the way. Someone I'm really curious to look at is Flavors, because if I was watching correctly, he dropped an assist, maybe the line,
the traction control,
something like this, and that is why I'm curious to see how he deals today, because yesterday in D3 he was struggling with his pace.
The pace was alright, he just got lapped eight times because he kept spinning. he went through his race director. He had 2 laps where he didn't spin. And those were both laps where he also went off track and got warnings. So he was really struggling to get the car under control. I've helped him a bit now with the setup, because he was running a time trial setup with very, very low off-throttle diff.
No.
Like 30%.
Oh, no.
That was the first thing I point out, like, that's why you are spinning everywhere. Well, also because you are bad, but the setup isn't helping. So we'll see if that's gonna help him a bit, to maybe only get lapped 5 times this time around. That would be progress.
Maybe. Let's see.
Oh, Gary!
Kind of
2 and a bit tenths up. Our reigning world champion. Joe also a 10th up in the middle sector. Strong laps coming in now right at the end of qualifying. And Gabriel on the final corner, this time no invalidation over the line. So 104.849, it's enough for 3rd place. But is Joe gonna beat him right back? Joe, 104.696, yes! He goes to the top of the timing sheet.
Borbadinho is just giving yellow flags to everyone.
I think he's out of fuel.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Is he?
Yeah, he's out of fuel, I think.
You have like 4 laps of fuel.
Yeah, his wheel says 0.0. So this is gonna be really big out, because this will impact everybody's laps with the EAS turning off when they go past him. Well, not off, but the boost mode turning off, you know? The goes from blue to yellow, if you get me.
Yes. It's the overtake mode, actually.
The blue one is overtake and the yellow is boost? Is that how it is?
Yes, so
Okay.
when the battery goes to blue mode, that's the overtake mode.
And Flames has been disqualified for going the wrong way. Not sure he's pulled that one off. Cold Matic with a half a second improvement goes into 12th. Next up over the line, and now Flames qualification confirmation coming in. Gary coming to the pit lane. Mourinho coming to the pit lane, and so is the Mercedes behind him.
Still on the lap. Pocho is improving almost 4 tenths.
Oh, big improvement coming from the Italian.
Oh, he had a bit of a wiggle. Oh no, and there's yellow flags. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh
I don't think that will impact him too much, because he's out of battery anyway.
It will. It's actually major how much it drops the charge when the yellow flags hit.
Well, he's still improved by 3.5 tenths and got into the top 10, and that's the end of qualifying. It is Joe on pole position, followed by Rapster, and then Bobodinho. So it's a BRL 1-2-3 here. Rapster and Bobodinho with the exact same lap time as well. Then Gary in 4th, our last champion of Division 2. D-Stream starting from 5th position, followed by Pubdog. And the rest of the grid, Kuko in 7th, then Mihai in 8th. First car out to the 104, so Sean in 9th, followed by Pocho. And then Viral, the first car, out to the top 10. Codematic, reserving for Ferrari tonight, in 12th, Ossie in 13th, then Scooby-Doo in 14th, joined by his teammate AC alongside him in 15th, and finally Flavors, with disqualification, will be starting from 16th position on the grid.
I have to, at this point, now that Flavors is P16 and DSQ'd himself, I wanna tell you that his comment to you was, what the fuck?
How do you accidentally get DSQ'd for going the wrong way?
That I don't know if he answered to that, but that was his answer.
By the way, we are expecting rain for the race. For the race start. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, we are. we really are. So this rain is lasting with us about, I'm gonna go with 15 to 30 minutes.
Oh, you have the telemetry?
Yes,
Alright,
I have it on. I want to get this kind of information to myself in advance, because I know that the drivers are not telling it, so might as well.
Well, the rain is going to impact the racing quite a lot, because in the wet, the EIS matters absolutely fuck all, because you don't have a boost mode, so you are just stuck with hot lap as your highest deployment, and it doesn't deploy a whole lot, so you basically can just stick it to hot lap the whole time and be at 100%.
I think if it rains too much, it's only gonna let you use medium.
Really? I didn't even
Yeah,
know
because
that, but
that's what I'm feeling. Because I was doing a 5-lapper in Abu Dhabi, that was wet, and the highest I could go was medium.
okay, interesting.
So
Well, but for sure it doesn't give you a boost button, so you have basically infinite battery. There's no reason to ever to lift and coast or any none mode or anything like that. And the strategy also, of course, for the moment at least, is fairly obvious. You have one tire to choose from, which is the Inter. The only question then becomes, when that rain goes away, which it will, what's the right lap for the pit onto dry tires, and what tire do you go onto? Is it going to be the hard to try and go to the end? Maybe even stretch the medium to the end, depends when it stops raining. Or are we going to be seeing 2 stops in this race? So the strategy will still be a big interesting factor in this Grand Prix. But for now, Joe lines up on the front row of the grid with the Aston Martin of Rapstar alongside him. All cars are lined up. We are loading onto the grid, and here we go. It's a 5 red light for the first race of season 19 in Division 2. It's lights out, and away we go, and a great start by Rapstar as he gets away from the line. A little bit of a slide from Borneo. Rapstar on the inside of Joe into the first corner. Who's going to come on top? Joe breaks a little bit later, swoops around the outside. Daystream going a little bit off on the braking zone, and Rapstar wins the start after the first corner. Now pulling away from Joe with Pop Dog coming in from behind, attacking his teammate. He's already passed Borneo. A not so great start from Gabri, who's 5 tenths back from them, already side by side with Kuko, who's coming on around the outside of his old championship rival. And so far, so clean. All cars in one piece, which is very good to see. Battles happening all throughout the field.
there is a lot of battling going on, which is kind of expected at these conditions at the first lap. But we have a couple who are really winners in here, such as Pop Dog, 4 positions up. Starting from P6 to getting to P2 just in basically 2 sectors time.
Yeah, 4 places gained from Pop Dog, 4 places gained from Aussie as well. Great starts by them too.
The game is saying it's full Inter. For me, the data is saying that 45 minutes actually.
Oh, a yellow flag for Flavors. His first spin of the evening.
That's,
sure if he,
it's gonna be a it's gonna be a long night for Flavors, to be honest.
Yeah, learning no TC and then getting rain is a bit of a just bad luck. But you have to learn it eventually. You're gonna have to be able to drive in the rain also, so you might as well get thrown in the deep end right now. Pop Dog, he is having a great start, and now he's already in the back of Rapstar and might be about to go for the race lead here.
Yep, Pop Dog is really shining in the rain.
And our resident Rainmaster Viral making a move on Coldmatic for P12 there. Let's see if he can go after some more places. Daystream and Gabri fighting for 6th up ahead at turn 4. The house driver, aggressive. Daystream, I'm not sure if he got pushed off track tire if he was still on the curb. But for sure it cost him a good exit, and Gabri getting back up into P6. Joe has already put a gap on Bavardino of over a second, which in these conditions of course doesn't matter whatsoever. But it's still symbolic, the 1 second gap, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, right now, there's like... This is gonna be exciting to see. It's in the front, it's Mercs against one Aston. Then there's the whole midfield. And then there's Scooby-Doo, AC and Flavors at the back.
Pop Dog now on the slipstream of Rapstar. Is this his chance to take the lead of this race? He's closing in, closing in. Can't use any battery over the Aston Martin. He's going to have to try and do it the old-fashioned way, under braking, up the inside from the Mercedes. Now the traction race on the exit, and Rapstar with way better traction. Look at the amount of gap he's pulled on Pop Dog there on the outside line, and he holds on the P1 nicely.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if Pop Dog can do the attack to Robster at any point soon. I mean, he is showing that he has the pace to fight for that P1 as Joe is dropping back. but it's very tricky to overtake in these conditions, especially when you don't have the boost. You just have the straight mode, which actually don't help on the rear wing. But what we noticed when we were, I was practicing with some guys, it opens actually the front wing flaps, which is really interesting.
That's how it is in real life, isn't it? When the straight mode is enabled in the wet, you just get the front wing flaps open.
I believe so, but I didn't know it was because, well, there hasn't been many rain races.
Yeah, but I mean, it also doesn't really do anything for you in terms of overtaking people because the other guy also has straight mode. It's just like it's all equal out in the wet, and since there's no real battery management, yeah, the passing is near impossible really. If the guy ahead doesn't make a mistake, you kind of just shit out of luck because you're not gonna get really many opportunities. You have to be really aggressive with a send up the inside or with a really good exit, something like that. Basically, you have to race a Formula 1 car like it's GT, you know?
Yep, that is true.
And they're not built for that.
By the way, just saying at this point, Phantom Fox, who was meant to drive today with us, has sadly had car troubles, and he has just come back to realize that he missed the race by 2 minutes, and he's heartbroken because he loves Austria and he loves wet.
Yeah, we know of Phantom's exploits in the wet racing, but with a 3-second penalty there. Viral at the moment, still struggling behind Pocho here, but he's yeah, very close behind him. I'm keeping an eye on Viral for sure, because in these wet conditions, he is the driver to watch out for. We saw him last season, for example, in Division 3 in Hungary. He, I believe the gap he had was 40 seconds for the safety car to P2, something like that. Absolutely mental.
Yeah,
but I mean, so far, I don't know, maybe this is not his game.
I mean, in this game, it's a lot harder to escape. But like, there is a possibility if you're just a lot better on the battery management, you can create the gap for yourself. It's just very hard because of the overtake mode. It charges you more battery, it gives you more top speed. It's just like overall, it's just better.
Oh yeah, but that's only important in the dry, and the Hungarian race was a wet one. That's not what I was talking about. Viral is really good in the wet, and I think right now the issue for him is more so not being able to overtake Pocho rather than missing, like not being able to get away from people because he has gapped Coldmatic. In the wet, I mean, there's no advantage in being behind. So if you are faster and you don't have the car in front, you will just drive away.
Yeah, I mean, in wet in this game, it's just extremely difficult. You just have to be faster than the cars around you, and even that is not enough sometimes.
Well, this team has been able to make a move there on Gabri, but he goes a little bit deep, and Gabri with a nice switchback. Coming through turn 3, he's back alongside the McLaren, but he gets all out of shape on the exit, and that costs him the chance to re-overtake him down into turn 4, and Daystream gets himself up into P6.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that Daystream has at least some solid pace. I mean, top 2 is on their own world. Then there is Joe just driving around alone. He has no friends in this race right now, which is kind of sad to say out loud. But like, then there's the whole train of everyone else basically, except these 3 in the front. This can go still in so many chaos ways that I'm just interested to see when people realize how much these cars actually have grip in the wet. That will bring the fight to these guys.
Yeah, Kuko's still stuck behind Paulinho here in the top 4, well, top 3. Running away with this race, especially Papdog and Rapster in 1 and 2. I would say the rain looks to be decreasing a little bit, so we might be not a million miles away from the rain stopping. And we should get there on one set of intermediates. I'm not sure what the tire weighs on the Inters, but I'm fairly certain they can go at least half a race. Pocho is making a move on Mihai for P10 this Grand Prix. Mihai swooping around the outside. Nice battling there. Mihai, a bit of an overstay moment, as he also taps Pocho, but it costs Mihai way more time than Pocho. And it means Pocho gets himself into the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about the tire wear, I can tell you the highest is 20% right now. So it's not the lightest, but it could be also quite a bit more. But the tires are overheating, which this is a problem, like the reason, right there.
That's interesting that they're overheating, because I feel like it's more than enough rain for them to be comfortably on intermediate. So maybe it's a setup issue that having minimum pressures in the rear maybe is the problem. It's Daystream with a run on Kuko. Coming out of slipstream and to the outside of turn 3. Daystream on the move once again for P5 this time. Kuko defending well, leaving him just about a car's width on the outside of the corner. Pulls back ahead, but Daystream coming back at Kuko. Down the next straight. Daystream definitely running lower wings than the cars around him. Kuko sends it back up the inside, locks up! And they make a bit of contact, and Daystream gets pushed out into the gravel. Gabri slipping back through. Daystream will not be happy with Kuko about that one. As it's cost him a place to Gabri. And really should have been ahead of Kuko in 5th and is chasing after his teammate for P4. In the meantime, Bobolinho is caught up to Joe, who has lost about 3 seconds to the leader, so Joe must have made a mistake somewhere. A little wobble, a half spin, and a fight for P3 out on track open once more.
I don't know if they've gotten hot lap open or something. Oh, Borbadinho gets the first 3 seconds.
The second already.
Wait, that's... What?
Yeah, he's only got 6 seconds. Nobody else has any.
What? Oh, well. Sure.
Oh, swap for the lead! Popdog is going up the inside of Rapstar into turn 3. Rapstar looking for the switchback. Has a good exit. Can he get back at Popdog? On the inside into turn 4. Popdog covering the middle of the track now. Pulls slightly ahead. Rapstar switches to the outside. But there's no gap. Popdog is taking lead of the Grand Prix with a great move. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite catch it. And now we can see if Popdog can pull the gap. He's been staring at the back of Rapstar since lap 1 of this race, really. And finally he's gotten the move done.
Yeah, and ironically, they are pretty much bang on the same tire wear. So these guys have been going hand to hand basically the whole race right now. So now it's just Popdog's time to showcase that, hey, I have the pace, I'm gonna go now. See ya, Rapstar. But I don't know if he can do that, because it is tricky to get away.
Alright, now Rapstar staying fairly close, so that looks to be far from over. And the midfield battle getting really intense. You see Viral basically pushing Mihai to the last 3 corners, with themselves basically pushing Pocho. Up ahead, that is Gabri and Kuko side by side into the first corner. Gabri going around the outside of the Red Bull man. The 2 Italians side by side, really close to touching on the exit of turn 1. And now coming up the hill, Gabri once more on the outside. There comes Daystream, going past them both. What is that? Straight line speed on the McLaren, and he takes 5th position. Kuko and Gabri still locked in the battle, side by side, up the hill, and in behind that is Ossie and Sean, side by side as well, 2 by 2, and there's big contact on the straight. That's Kuko and Gabri into the wall, and big damage on both their cars, surely, as Pocho slips through all of them, up into 7th place there, going up the inside of Sean, and that is a nightmare for Kuko and for Gabri. They were running quite well in this race, and their start of the season has just gone down the drain.
That's definitely wasn't on my bucket list to see that happening, but yeah, these things happen. Contact is part of racing, but
big damage for Kuko and big damage for Gabri as well. I expect to see them both coming in the pit lane this lap. And their race is going really bad. Now Kuko actually stays out. Gabri is gonna come in.
Gabri had more damage than I would say Kuko has.
Mihai, cooling the tires from the straight, so we're already at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the tires are overheating at the moment.
Well, Daystream will be counting his lucky stars that he got past Kuko and Gabri just before all of that went down. And look at the gap he's got behind now, that's really good for him. as he can now start chasing after his teammate Boborino for P4. Of course, Boborino with 6 seconds of penalties hanging over his head. Surely they would think that there could be a bit of a team order at McLaren if Daystream were to catch him. Boborino will have lost to him regardless. And Joe's not too far up the road. A podium could be on the cards for all of the McLarens if they play their cards right.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that Aussie, by the way, is the happiest man from that crash. He gained 2 more positions, and he's 7 positions up on the start. Starting in P13 and getting, P12 to getting to P6 is that's a like well driven race so far, especially thinking the conditions and everything. But yeah, the tire wear is increasing right now, so I'm excited to see how people play their strategies here, because that tire wear is not gonna get you very far.
Yeah, that could actually be good news for Gabri. Of course, he was forced into that pit stop, and if these guys run out of tires, it could turn to a blessing in disguise for Gabri if he gets a huge undercut on everybody else if they also have to pit before the rain ends. If they make it to the dry phase, then Gabri is cooked.
Yeah, let me check. What does the software tell me? It says to me that 23 minutes of rain still.
Oh, so quite a long rain shower still.
Yes, I don't think we're gonna see many laps with slick tires, sadly. But I am expecting people to box relatively soon.
Oh, Boborino with a bit of a wobble, coming into the second to last corner, and Daystream says thank you very much, free position, and moves into the top 4. The fast lap of the race as well. He is on the move now. 2.5 seconds to Joe.
And that's a podium right there. He can see the podium going on the same straight as him right now. But did you notice that the battle in the front is still going on between Rupster and Bob Dog?
Oh yeah, Rupster is still very much with him.
Yeah, even though we are spectating the mid-pack right now with Ossi, Pocho, Sean, Viral, Mihai is even there still fighting. But Rupster is still with Pubdog in the front. It's not like Pubdog, oh my, I witnessed right away Mihai and Viral having some contact in turn 4.
Gabri makes his way back past the back markers, past Flavors, Scooby-Doo and AC now, up into 13th. Now 25 seconds to the next car of Cold Matic though, so a lot of work to do for Gabri to get back into this race. Realistically, he's going to be needing a safety car. Kuko is doing a good job to hang on to the P11. He's staying, yeah, well, he's not really with the guys ahead, but you know, you can still see him. And given the damage on this car, that's quite impressive. Mihai is side by side with Viral down the main straight. Viral passing him in all that carnage with the Gabri and Kuko collision. And Mihai now trying to get that position back around the outside of turn 1. A great move by Mihai to get back past the Audi.
Yeah, Mihai showed already yesterday that he has the pace. And if this was a dry race, I wonder if he could have been even stronger. But now we only see the wet side.
If it was a dry race, you need EIS management, and that's what lets him down. So the wet might actually play into his cards a little bit, even though I think last game Mihai was really bad in the wet. Scooby-Doo with a 3-second time penalty there. But Kuko also was very bad in the wet last game, and then, well, until the crash, was doing rather well this time around. Ossi with a move through the double left-hander on Boborino. Surely not here. Yes, right here. Ossi into the top 5. And Pocho following through into the second to last corner. What is going on with Boborino? He is struggling so much in these conditions, being overtaken left, right and center. He does hold on against Pocho around the outside, but for how much longer? Because he is not looking confident whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, this is the beauty of the rain. None of these guys have practiced this weather condition. So this is where we get the purest of the pure racing. And when you make a mistake, it can cost you a lot. And yeah, Boborino, couple mistakes, and he's basically in the bins.
Yeah, this is the lightest of rain possible, really. I mean, you can barely see the raindrops at this point. At least I can. I'm not sure how it looks on the YouTube stream with the compression. If you guys can still see it at all. But there is still some rain. Very little. But you said there's 23 minutes more of this. You said that like, what, 5 minutes ago? So if we're gonna have this for another 15 minutes, it's gonna be a nightmare on tires. Because this is too wet for slicks, but it's too dry for inters.
Yeah, just checking. What does our radar say? Yeah, now it's saying at 11 minutes. Still, very light rain.
Okay, so 11 more minutes of this, basically.
Basically, yes.
And I feel like I can see a big dry line, though.
There's
if I was driving, I would never risk the pit for slicks.
I mean, someone like... I actually don't know who
Kuko
would be.
What does Kuko have to lose right now?
Yeah, or... Well, Mihai will be... I would assume he's gonna be making positions when this dries up and he gets to actually push those slicks. By the way, meanwhile, this stream is on Joe's buttocks right now, and he wants that podium to himself.
Yeah, D-Stream has been absolutely flying in this Grand Prix. He's gonna be so annoyed that his start didn't quite go to plan, because with the pace he has, he absolutely could and should be in that fight with Paptok and Rupster for the race win. But if there's no safety cars, that 10-second lead will very likely be too much to overcome, and P3 will be the maximum we can fight for today. Joe covering the middle of the track, coming to the last corner. He's already going defensive. He knows the attack from B-Stream is going to come sooner rather than later, as G-Stream is looking absolutely rapid.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, the tire wear is increasing mad.
Oh, Bobardino once again with a huge wobble out of the last corner. That's an easy pass for Sean Moore. And Bobardino's tires surely must be screaming for help as he goes back up the inside into turn 1 though. Holds onto the position. Once again, he's all over the place on the exit, but so is Sean. Ryan has gotten back past Mihai at some point, but Mihai very close behind him. It is unbelievably close in this midfield pack. And I think the rain has stopped.
It looks like it, yeah.
Still some spray, for sure, from the tires. But there's no more rain coming down, so we are going to be moving towards dry conditions. For sure now. But halfway into the race, so I'm expecting hard tires to go to the end. Yesterday, yeah, the hards went quite comfortably. Well, I say comfortably. Varo did blow up after 18 laps, but he was the only one, so everybody else was comfortably doing one-stops, hard to medium, or medium to hard. As Joe is pulling into the pit lane.
That's a risky choice.
Well, I think what's coming into play here is the fact that Joe probably has the least experience on F1 games of anyone on this grid, or at least all the fast people on this grid. Inters again! What?
No.
I was gonna say he's going for slicks too early because he doesn't know the game too well, and he's just trusting the fact that it stopped raining, so it's gonna be slicks. But no, he's actually... That's horrible. That's a horrible strat, even if you do know the game. It just stopped raining. You don't pit for inters. Kuko, yes, you are in the position to go gambling. You are not gonna get anything out of this race. So you had to pit on that lap and hope that it works. Gabriel as well. Well, he's so far back it doesn't really matter even if this works, but he also has nothing to lose. And Kuko is in the wall. Yeah. It's so far away from slicks. Kuko got wing damage on the pit exit immediately, as he couldn't keep the car under control. So I think that tells everything you have to know. Do not pit for slicks right now. And Gabriel on the same scenario, also coming out the pit lane, and he is struggling to get the car under control. You can tell the rear really loose. You can't see the telemetry, unfortunately, so I don't know when he got to full throttle, but it took him a while for sure. Flavors also onto slicks now. 3 cars on the slicks, and I don't think any of them should be. Mihai up the inside of Viral into the last corner, and none of these guys coming into the pit lane. Although I say that Mihai is coming into the pit lane. A little bit later than the cars earlier. Is it time for slicks yet? I don't think so. Bobardino follows him in.
Meanwhile, I'm getting
and
asked
Joe's back
by
in.
Cole. Cole is asking if it's overcast right now. For me, it's still showing light rain. So you take out of that what you want, basically, at the moment. But Mihai, that's a wild call.
Oh,
Oh,
Bombardino!
and there,
Also, yep, the same as Kuko. He comes to the pit lane, and there is no grip there. 3-second time penalty for Kuko as well, especially in the pit lane, because there's no dry line there. No one is driven through there, but also auto track, it doesn't get much better. There is no grip on the slicks right now. Yeah, Mihai is losing time head over fist to Coldmatic. And the guys who made a pits already have made a big mistake. Papdog and Rockstar, yeah, they're still staying out. And that's definitely the right call. Yellow flags in the main straight, I think, for Gabri. Yeah, he spun halfway down the straight. And Gabri's now actually being lapped.
that is something I did not expect to see right now, to be honest.
Scooby-Doo coming out the pit lane on fresh intermediates. And Flavor's also struggling to get the car under control.
Be checking a bit the data again. Let's see what it says. I mean, it is showing that the softs would be slightly faster.
Well, in the time you said that sentence, I lost half a second to Coldmatic. So, of course, it's hard,
but it is showing that the hearts are still slower. So
they are a lot slower
it's
based on the eye test. It's oh wait, Mihai no, he lost. Okay, I think Mihai just didn't brake for a corner or something, because he gained a tenth and he lost like a second. So, and Papdog is pitting from the lead of the Grand Prix, and is that too early? I think it still is too early, because the guys on slicks are still losing time everywhere, and that could be, well, for sure this will decide the race. Either this is where Papdog gets away from Robster, or it's where Robster won the race. Yellow flag for the McLaren of Bombardino on the slicks. Can't get the car under control at all. D-Stream is in the pit lane as well now.
No, but Papdog boxes the Inters. What the?
He must have been about to puncture.
I mean,
Otherwise
yeah.
that makes no sense. And he's gonna come out in second place still.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the gap he had behind. Well, with D-Stream pitting as well, he was the only one who was within a pit stop range of him. But yeah, I mean, it's so far away from Slicks. Who's that coming off? Is that Mihai? Yeah. Mihai is now 40 seconds away from the first car on Inters. And Joe has thrown his race completely out the window as well. He was in a great position. Well, same with everybody else, but he was the only one out of the guys who are now on Slicks who was fighting for a really good position. I think Mihai was back on the points, and then Bombardino as well, actually, but he had the penalties.
I wanna see Robster just gamble it. Yes. He is on the puncture zone and he keeps on going, hoping it comes to the slick conditions.
So yeah, if this works for Robster, he's gonna have a huge gap to Papdog. If it doesn't work, Papdog wins the race, basically. That's what it comes down to. The race is gonna be decided right now by the fact whether Robster makes the pit lane and comes into slicks before he blows up or after he blows up.
Yes, I mean Robster is in the puncture zone right now.
Joe is keeping the gap to D-Stream kinda. He's losing a little bit of time, but I think this could be the lap for Robster to pit and be fine. As I say that, Joe just lost like 5 seconds. Ossie and Pocho in the pit lane. Pocho onto fresh inters, Ossie onto fresh hards. Pocho, yeah, then also in punch range. Bombardino has crashed, and it's a full goal safety car. It's a red flag.
It's a red flag. I have never witnessed. Oh, this is interesting. I have never seen red flag.
And that turns the race completely upside down. Everybody is going to get fresh tires. Everybody's going to be on slicks, I would imagine. And essentially,
yes.
we get a sprint race to the end from here.
Will we get everyone on the same lap now?
Yes.
Okay, so if you were lapped, you are gonna be on the main lap now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually perfect position for Gabri.
I wouldn't say perfect, but like it's the only thing that could have saved this race was a red flag at this point. But it still was far from perfect position, this.
But oh, okay, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This is perfect for Gabri in the position that he was left. They can't go dries.
What do you mean they can't go
It's
dry? It's the game making them
it's
start inters.
literally.
Well, as long it's at least the same for everyone. So they are all fucked. Oh no, we're gonna see the entire field pit on the first lap of the restart surely, because it skips a bit of time as well on the red flag, so it should be dry now.
But everyone can't box at the same lap because of double stack.
Yeah, but it's clearly dry. Well, the 5 red lights are on, and we're ready for the restart on the first red flag of Division 2 Season 19. Rupster with a great start, absolutely rocking away. Sean Mull pulls alongside Pop Dog on the outside of turn 1, and that is one of the McLarens. That's D-Stream hitting Viral at the first corner, and there is absolute chaos in the back. I believe that's Pocho who's gone around and dropped to the last position of the field. And why is half the field on 23 level inters and half the field on fresh inters?
No. It's bugged. It's bugged. They are all on fresh inters.
Okay, that's good to know.
Or the telemetry is horribly wrong. There's either or.
Yeah, well, the in-game telemetry says Rapstar, Sean, Codematic, and Ravla on 20th level inters.
Yes,
so if that's actually true, they are doing a mega job.
But for me, it shows example Rapstar has 5% higher wear right now. So.
Well, another question is,
that's correct.
Are we going to be seeing the entire field in the pit lane, or is some going to stay out to avoid double stack? Like, do you double stack, or do you stay out another lap? Because for sure, if you don't double stack, you have to pit.
Stay out. If it's dry enough to go to slicks, then first car boxes, second car stay out.
Rapstar staying out, and that's a 3-second time penalty for Rapstar. Sean Moore is in the pit lane. It's not everybody pitting. It's very few cars pitting, in fact. I thought we'd seen way more people in the pit lane, but it doesn't seem to be quite dry then yet. It's just Sean and Daystream. And with the 3-second time penalty hanging over Rapstar, Pop Dog is in a very good position to win the race. Codematic holding on to third place of the restart, followed by Viral, who is essentially in a podium position now, with that penalty for Codematic as well. Mihai is looking on the outside of Joe into turn 3. He's a bit too far back to try anything. Gary's recovered in the top 10. Sean and Daystream each onto slicks. Keep an eye on the gap between Sean and Flavors. If that comes down rapidly, we know it's time for slicks. If it goes up rapidly, we know it's not time for slicks. And Mihai sending it around the outside of Joe to turn 4. Can this work? No. The exit is horrendous. And Sean is losing time to Flavor, so it's not quite time for slicks yet. Mihai with an outrageous move on the outside of Joe, but once again, the exit is god-awful. And it doesn't seem to be time for slicks just yet still. Maybe. Sure, the gap is staying kind of the same now between Sean and Flavors. Kuko with the pass on AC into the second to last corner for P8 up the inside. And a yellow flag for Daystream. Struggling on the slicks. AC trying to go hanging around the outside for the last corner of Kuko, but Kuko pulls ahead. And now Gabi passes him as well as... Oh no, AC teleports back in front of him.
This is chaos.
Yeah, AC is lagging all over the place. I hope that's not my end, since I'm the host. And he's to teleport, yep, back in front of Gabi. That's rather annoying.
Pop Dog is challenging Robster for the P1 again. I mean, Pop Dog has nowhere to be rushing. Like, he has, what you call it?
Oh, Poch on the grass! 3 right down straight, and AC is in the wall! As he makes contact with Pocho, and AC flying across the track, gets a 10th time penalty as well. Sorry. Oh.
Commentator dies when people crash out on the street.
Well, Pocho was all on the left-hand side on the grass, Gabri was in the right, AC in the middle, and yeah, 3 right into turn 4 and in disaster for AC, who goes flying across the gravel. Sean still, I think now, finally keeping time to the cars ahead, but that's with AC having half a wing. So it still seems to be intermediates, the correct tire to be on.
Yeah, I mean, it looks dry, but it doesn't probably feel dry. As you can see, D-Stream is struggling, and he has box 2 inters, right?
This is where the telemetry glitch is rather annoying, that we can't see the inputs, throttle inputs mainly. So I'd really
Yeah.
like to know how careful they are having to be on the throttle, but I have no idea. I can't see it.
I mean, they have blocked it by the game, I reckon, because obviously I have their telemetry data.
I think it's a glitch
Some
that you can't see it.
some of these, I can see like some of their information, but I can't see the pedals or anything like that, which is rather annoying.
An outrageous battle between Mihai and Ossi here, side by side, from turn 4 all the way to now, and just as I say it, they make contact, Mihai almost goes round, and there comes Jono to the outside into the last corner. Mihai lets him go, or does he know he's just lagging? And pulls back ahead of Joe.
You know, Mihai is just teleporting all around everywhere.
And now Mihai with the run on Ossi into turn 1, goes back up the inside for 5th position in this Grand Prix. Late on the brakes, and gets ahead of the V-Cup. Mihai finally completing the move.
Yeah, now they have a slight gap to catch the viral. Viralis has come a far distance to get that podium for himself.
Gabri and Pocho battling over 9th. Gabri swoops around the outside now with a great exit. Look at that. Leaves Pocho standing, but Pocho now with the slipstream came back at Gabri. Down towards turn 4. Fast on the outside line. And Gabri is going to send it back up the inside. Nope. He settles in behind once more. In P10. Still, no one other than Sean Mull, who's now gaining time head over fist to Scooby-Doo. Is it time for the slicks? Finally. No one is coming in. So maybe not.
We just have to wait at the moment and see who pulls the plug, because
Well, we're running out of laps at this point. And it's a fairly short track, so we might get to a point where people are going to gamble to stay out until the end.
let's see. There's people around 30%, I would say, right now.
Scooby-Doo is in the pit lane. And that will be him coming onto slick tires for the end of this Grand Prix in the chase for points. And that is going to be a set of the mediums. No, hards. Interesting choice with 7 laps to go.
I would have probably gone softs myself.
Mihai up the inside on Viral. He's caught them very quickly. And a very decisive move, but Viral with the switchback is still there. But now Mihai pulls ahead on the run into the double left-hander and is up into 4th position. In terms of time penalties hanging over his head though, Mihai has got 6 seconds. He's going to have to gap Viral by quite a margin in these next few laps to get that podium for himself. And of course he also has to get past Codematic and gap him by 3 seconds. So a tough challenge for Mihai here if he wants to get that podium. The top 2 have absolutely run away with this. Codematic 7 seconds away from Pupdog right now, who is on the back of Rapstar. Joe in the pit lane, and so is D-Stream. And is it finally time for the slicks? Mihai on the outside of Codematic into turn 1. He's making moves left, right and center. Flavors with the 3-second time penalty. Mihai now with a great run up the hill into turn 3. And Codematic stuck behind. Mihai is on the podium. He's got a yellow flag for a slow-moving car in the middle sector. But Viral having a look up the inside and gets a 3-second time penalty as he cuts the inside of turn 3. And that's going to hamper his chance of a podium significantly. Joe is now 6 seconds back from Flavors. Keep an eye on that gap.
Mihai is pulling a... like, he's showing that he has the pace. But now we can see if he has the pace to drop Code and Viral out of... well, he has done the second gap already. But can he pull the 3 seconds that he needs? So he can maintain that podium. Oh, no, well, now he only needs to worry about...
Joe is absolutely flying. It's time for the slicks, but no one is pulling the trigger, I think. Nope, they're all staying out, but Joe's getting loads of time on Flavors.
I don't think Joe just has enough of laps to...
That's the thing. Oh, yeah, they might just stay out until the end now.
Yeah, now I feel like it's just not worth it anymore.
And Joe gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple running. The only cars left in this race without penalties are Gabri and Pupdog.
Yeah. Everyone else has at least a 3 second, and Hop Dog he has 2 warnings. Gabri he has 2 warnings. So it's 1 warning and a 3 second. I'm really curious to see how Joe will pull out this.
Yeah, he's still absolutely flying. He's almost got the 3 seconds in Cold already, and he's also gained about 1.5 seconds in Public and Raptor. Of course, he will run out of laps before he catches them, but if this race had another 10 laps or so, yeah, he could definitely still win this. Yellow flag for the Alpine of AC, I believe, who is a lap down. And Joe is now on the back of Flavors. The battle for P9 out on track. Flavors on the intermediates. Surely not much of a chance for Joe. But then it's 10 seconds to the next car of Gabri. How much can Joe still get out of this race? The cars ahead will not be pitting. They are all gonna go to the end on these intermediates.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting because Joe he has the grip right now, and he will do the best he can.
Flavors letting him go. Doesn't want to go into a battle at all. With the tire difference, it's probably better for both of them not to risk that.
I think Flavors is just happy if he can get that P10.
I mean, he knows that was a lost fight because Joe's lapping like 3 seconds a lap faster. So why, take any risk of battling when you know you've already lost? And now Joe is gonna have to go after Gabri and see how much he can still get out of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I wonder how far Joe can carry these mediums. Can he catch how much? Everyone in front of him are overheating. The tires are bad.
Yeah, with the fast lap of the Grand Prix there. And the yellow flag at the last corner for a McLaren, which is Daystream, who's also a lap down, so his race unraveling, unfortunately. He was having a great race. And then on the restart, I think he got damage, I would assume, of the send he did at turn 1. So that's rather unfortunate to see, yeah, shame to see. Yellow flags coming up the hill for some reason. Coldmatic! He's out of fuel! How are you out of fuel on lap 33?
I don't know.
Well, his race is from a podium position completely in the mud. How has he done that?
Was Codematic the KW guy?
Yeah.
New guy making the rookie mistake.
That's not just a rookie mistake, that's crazy. It's lap 33 of 36.
He has not been saving enough.
Yeah, but like, by a margin where... How does that happen? That's crazy. Well, and with that, the podium is firmly in Miai's hand, and Coldmatic will not be scoring a single point in this Grand Prix, as there goes Joe, and Kuko not too far behind. Coldmatic, I mean, he's surely gonna finish last.
I mean, fair play to him, he's still going. I don't know why. Because he wait.
Oh, he's paused the game! Because the AI still has fuel.
Smart. That's actually... Oh, but the AI...
If you had realized that earlier, maybe we could have still gotten some points off this, but now Coco is fairly close, so... The 75 AI will not do a whole lot against that.
Yeah, I was just about to ask what's the AI level.
Normal grip has been restored, we've got boost mode enabled. Which is good news for the guys in the slick tires. They will not start gaining crazy time, yeah, look at that. Joe is already gained about a second on Gary since that boost mode was enabled. Rapstar has got Pupdog at 1 point... Oh, Rapstar's gone straight on. I was just about to say, he might get him outside 3 seconds, but now if anything, Pupdog's gonna get Rapstar, yep, for position. Pupdog takes lead of the Grand Prix, which he already had on penalties, now also out on track. With 1.5 laps to go, Papdog in position to win this Grand Prix. Yellow flag in sector 1, 2, and 3 right now. As there is Scooby-Doo going around. And Codematic, I think, is still going to get a point now of this Grand Prix because the people outside the points are just... I don't know what they're up to. And Joe is now crashed! On the straight between... Oh, he's on the left-hand side on the wall there. And Kuko's run out of fuel!
What is going on? How is people running
And Rapstar's back in the lead. What is going on in this race now? In these last couple of laps, Potro has caught Aussie in the battle for 5th. It's Mihai puts in the fast lap of the Grand Prix. And everybody is just falling apart.
Rapstar has been flying.
With the overtake mode now. And he is gonna... Oh, Rapstar with a wobble out of turn 3. And Papdog takes lead of the Grand Prix back. AC with a 3-second time penalty. I've got absolutely no idea what is happening at this point. And Viral's out of fuel! Lads! Lads! How are you running out of fuel in this game?
You weren't expecting that.
You can underfuel by like 3 laps and there's another one.
But Felix, you said it yourself. It's wet. You don't need to lift that much because you don't have the boost mode.
Yeah, they probably underfueled like it's dry. Yeah, good point. And they didn't think that they're not doing all that in the wet. Well, Papdog, he didn't make that mistake. He's gonna win this Grand Prix in brilliant fashion. A very amazing battle with Rapstar all evening. Papdog is your race winner in the first race of season 19. Rapstar with a great performance in second place. Mihai, rapid pace by him to get the car home in P3 in the end. And Pocho on his return to F1 Total with a 4th place finish. The penalties, yep, 3 seconds. Let's see if Gabi can get within the window. He's just outside it right now, but I think he will stay outside it. Pocho, oh, it's close, it's close. Oh, it's 46,000 since Gabi gets a fast lap of the race, but it's Pocho 4th, then Gabri. And now Aussie crawling to the line without fuel. Viral crawling to the line without fuel. Codematic AIing to the line without fuel. Kuko crawling to the line without fuel. Here comes Flavors. I can't believe Flavors is getting a point.
Flavors is gonna be P9.
So P6 is out of fuel, P7 is out of fuel, P8 is out of fuel, P9 spun about 19 times, P10 is out of fuel. Lads.
P9 is out of fuel as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What is going on?
Is there anyone on track who has fuel still? No. No, it's out of fuel.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff. And here is your race winner, Papdog. Taking the championship lead as well. And yeah, an amazing performance by all 3 of our podium sitters. They showed great pace.
Wait. Hey, we have to discuss about this. Viral took 1.5 laps over and he ran out.
Okay, but I can understand why people ran out then, if they need that much fuel in the wet. But that's crazy! Half the field ran out of fuel! I mean, we should have known it was a problem when Codematic ran out of fuel with 4 laps to go. And finished 8th! There was a car going around with an empty fuel tank for 4 laps and he's 8th. Oh, this game. Well, Papdog, Rapstar, Mihai, Potro, Gabri, Aussie, Viral, Codematic, Flavors, Kuku, your point scorers. Fast lap the race for Gabri. Bonus point for him. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like, There was good fightings in the middle of the race, but the beginning that was fun. Middle of the race it was like 50-50. It was fun, but it was a bit boring. So normal racing kind of type. And then after I would say lap 30, it was just like what is going on and why is everyone running out of fuel?
Well, that was quite the way to start the season. Um, our first wet race of F1 26, and we have seemed to have discovered a very interesting phenomenon where wet apparently means that your car absolutely destroys your fuel tank. Um, Thank you, Rere, very much for being a part of that, for joining me. Um,
You know, that was definitely something. I I don't know what else to say. Uh, that was definitely something.
yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations to
Uh,
Pop Dog, to Rapstar, and to Mihai, to our podium sitters. Like I said, great races by them. Amazing pace, amazing race management, amazing IQ to realize that you actually need fuel for your car. Apparently, that is a deciding factor now in these races. Actually putting fuel in the car. We've got 2 races left around Austria this week, and Sunday, the Division 1 opener and the first ever race in the Elite Division. And then next week we are going to Silverstone for the second round of the season. I'm excited to see how that goes as well. So you'll be hearing from me again in 6 or 7 days, depending on if I'm doing Division 3 or not. For sure, I'll be doing Division 2 in 7 days. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. I have gotten the knowledge to my hands that I can drive Silverstone. So you will be seeing me next Tuesday, and I will be there with you on the Wednesday again because this is fun. And Silverstone, oh, that's gonna be fun. That's all I can say. That's gonna be fun.
Well, and with that, I wish you all a good evening. I hope you enjoyed that race as much as we did. Yeah, see you all next week. Goodbye and good night.
Yep.